have a good enough amount of dog pussy.
Oh, what?
I think it's pretty good.
Dog coochie.
Oh, we already started, huh? Sorry, I was leading up.
We're live.
Whoa! Welcome to the Ordinals Are Dead show, where everything is fucking dead, especially runes. And we are here. I'm Troy, Ordinal Grandpa, with our special guest,
Peepa!
Owl.
What up? Thanks
Cheers.
for having me.
Yes, sir.
And we got our cousin Butoshi.
What's up,
And
gang?
we got our other distant cousin, Bit God Chad.
Are we not your
God.
sons anymore? I thought we were your sons.
You're our son. You're my son. You're my
Okay.
son.
Are
I
we
love
cousins or sons?
You're both. It's North Carolina. It's the mountain.
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
All
fine.
right, back to the show. Runes update. What's going on with runes right now?
Runes are dead. We died. It's been about 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. Everything's going to zero. I actually saw like the sick picture where it was like the rune market cap compared. It was like this chart, and Bitcoin's market cap was like this big, and the runes market cap was this big, and Ethereum's market cap was like this big, and then the shitter token market cap was like this much bigger.
Damn.
And I don't know. It feels like we're dead. It feels like it's impossible for things to go higher. Possibly.
yeah,
What do
yeah.
you think?
They're so fucking dead, man. It's over. We all thought all the runes were going instantly to billions and billions in market cap, and now we're poor.
I hate waiting for things to grow. That's not how things should go.
Yeah, this is not like
3 weeks later.
This is not like photosynthesis where you can water runes and it would grow. So Began and Jerry, you can just turn off the cameras and stuff like that. This show is dead. But is Casey gonna hold his promise to
Seppuku?
committing seppuku?
I don't know, Casey. So I want a max bid because Casey is a man of his word, and I do believe he might actually seppuku if you don't hit $1 billion market
No,
cap.
he will.
Bro, it's look, it's been nearly 1 month. We have one more week. We have one more week to get a $1 billion cumulative market cap. Pups is low-key carrying because they just finished the bridge, the rune drop. So that should like add like 200 million to the market cap unless you fuckers cheat it. But if everything is fine, then our creator doesn't have to die. Runes can keep on upgrading, and I think everyone will be happy.
Boo it.
Do you think that pups or dog hits 1 billion first, or is it something else?
Arsic.
Arsic. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I like
nice,
that.
nice take.
Yeah.
I mean, nice to
Arsic
hear
first,
that.
just because.
I mean, look, they clearly are close with meme land. Sorry, I gotta like hold this close to my face. Jesus. Yo, they're clearly mad close to meme land.
Yes.
Meme land has the best listing pipeline in the entire space to get to Binance. And, you know, they did that partnership where meme land stakers got to suddenly acquire some rune coin. I wouldn't fade them. Like, I know the people who are trying to get dog listed. Obviously, Leo is trying, but it's really this like one big whale who has thousands of Bitcoin and thousands of rune stones who's like very close to Binance. So it's between him and like the meme land pipeline to get listed on Binance.
Yeah.
Binance is definitely listing one.
Yeah.
Right. They put out that write up yesterday with 25 pages about fungibles on Bitcoin.
It was 25 pages.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so
Yo, they're doing
long.
their DD.
It was so long.
Oh
It
my.
was
Okay.
So
Interesting.
you
Interesting.
say I saw that, but long meaning like okay, like are they over trying is what I'm saying, or is it like the old?
Not even. I think Binance just puts up stuff like that to telegraph it. Like they did a write up on BRC20 before they were listing them as well. I think they just telegraph their moves through their news arms and their research arms.
Educational arms.
Al,
Yeah.
let me ask you guys a question actually. So you brought up meme land. Fucking, I'm heavy into that. So I'm glad you brought that up for my bags. And but for real though, they are the only out of all these that I know are the only Web 2 company that is successful. You know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're the largest meme company in the world. So like, how does that play into that? I mean, does that matter, or is finance just finance, and is wallets just wallets, and you know what I mean? Is pressure just pressure to get things listed? You know,
I mean, I think that's really interesting. I don't actually know what 9gag CEO's connection to Binance and the listing pipeline was
China.
before
Well, I think
this.
that
I mean, he has a very strong connection to Singapore and China, right? So that's,
Yes.
I think it's based in
I
Singapore.
mean, he's Chinese.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Binance.
Well, you know,
Labs
there's a lot of
invested
Chinese
in-
people, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
No, yeah, you're right. Al's got the best laugh. Woo, woo. Back to you, Bob.
No, I mean I think Binance Labs invested in meme land as well.
That makes
so
a lot of
so
sense.
there's
Is
already.
Binance back bias for that?
I don't. I mean,
I'd be
I
back
think
bias
they-
too if I was in exchange. It
they
doesn't matter.
invested like Binance Labs, the investment arm of Binance has invested. I don't know, probably in like 100 plus, companies or projects, right? And like I think honestly, the majority of them are probably doing pretty well, but there's also some that totally fail.
So is Binance Labs
Absolutely.
kind of like the VC seed round of Binance that just kind of like does research on projects and gives them money to do things.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty
right?
sick.
And then like tries to get him involved in their launch pad. Like obviously gets them eventually, hopefully listed as well and all that stuff.
But
Okay.
I have to say back to Memeland, I love their Ponzi-nomics from the start. They have
Yeah.
the best Ponzi-nomics.
Everyone loves a good
They have
Ponzi.
a trickle
Which
down.
is what though? Like
they have a lockup that trickles out over time, and at the end of each month, I go, wow, I have 3 times my rent.
got it.
So that's what I like about that.
Via
Good
what though?
Ponzi.
Via what though?
Good Ponzi.
Good Ponzi. Good Ponzi. This
Wait.
is
You have to hold what though?
you have to hold. You can either buy into it, like somebody I know on the panel did, and you you can do that, or you can hold captains and potatoes, where
Gotcha.
you generate all this goodness
Gotcha.
called rent
Yep.
money.
Yep.
But other than that, biggest news last week though, this epic
33.3 Bitcoin put into buying an epic sat, a sat determined by Rodamore's rarity chart. How do you guys feel about that? Because we do have this interesting market where like people, it seems that people don't really care about rare sats in general. Like we haven't seen an uncommon market run. I still think I'm biased. I still think they're super cool. But this is the first time we've kind of seen an epic sat kind of get mined.
First of all, there's 2 things going on from my experience. Like from that space that happened while it dropped, it was midnight. I was about to go to sleep. Snoop Toshi goes, "Hey, get up, wake up." I go, "Dude, I'm about to watch."
But you got front ran, right?
I got front ran. I did 9 transactions. Suck it, Luminex. Get my fucking money
Oh my
back. So
gosh, man.
the thing is that. I'm glad I stayed up. It was exciting to be a part of it. And there was a space that was going on for 4 hours, and it was just like this, the first out of 4 ever done on 13, characters, whatever. And then I was thinking, should they just have waited to be the last epic sat done when we get down to like 1 ticker? You know what I mean?
Absolutely not, in my opinion.
No.
No, I'm just curious thinking about that.
I would say like the reason why is because like we have this whole narrative in the space where it's like first is first.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you're the second, like let's say that the other epics. So it's actually super interesting. It's like this epic sat was bought for 33.3 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And literally not even like, I think a week later, it was announced that a second epic rare sat, like a second epic sat was just found from Binance. So everyone's kind of like, oh, fuck, there's another epic sat in circulation. Like everything was kind of being.
We had Chip on from Ordinal Miners like 2 weeks ago. He was talking to, I forget if he said it on the show or just in private. Hopefully I'm not leaking this, but like he was previously in.
Yeah, he can leak.
He was previously in trying to do a deal with a big miner that had another epic sat for like 1.1, or over $1 million or something like that. This is like 6-7 months ago when commons were crazy, all that sort of shit. But no, I don't think they should have waited.
No,
absolutely not.
Yeah, because some people were saying like, man, I would have waited till like, who's going to care about 13 ticker? I mean, this is epic sat. It's a different story. But like, the logic of
The
to
ticker's
12
epic.
letters and then to 11 letters. I'm like, okay, now it's getting interesting. Like you get midway through, and I was thinking, who's going to be or is the last epic sat owner going to that tribe of people? What are they going to do with that?
No,
Anything they want.
I believe heavily in what they're doing, and I'm not a big blob holder, but huge epic holder, and I'm excited for what they do.
Aren't you like the 10th top?
Okay, so you're bullish on Epic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I'm bullish on it, and I
can see
think
here.
to that though, like the song from them from Blob or Epic is pretty catchy. I must say.
They have a song?
Yeah. Do you hear the?
The Blob-
the-
Was it- wait,
the
was it-
audio, the audio on the inscription?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Okay,
pretty
okay, that
catchy.
one. I
Yeah,
thought you meant there was
so
like a theme song. I did see this video on Twitter where like Neuro was speaking at Ordinals Asia, and he literally told everyone to stand up, and I think they were just saying blah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
blah.
Blob.
What were you about to say regarding like
I
Epic?
mean, I was gonna say about being first versus being second. I mean, first of all, it's gonna take 3+ years to get to those short tickers. I would.
Yep.
How long is this cycle supposed to last? You want to fucking make a plan for 3 years away?
But
with an
Bitcoin's
epic sat?
eternal.
Like,
It's supposed to last
I don't-
forever.
I
It
don't-
doesn't matter.
that's separate. Personally, as a trader, I trade one cycle at a time. I don't know what it's going to look like between this and the next bull run. I have no idea. And so I don't really like to think, except like, hold straight Bitcoin, but like the things on Bitcoin, who knows? They could be very dead next
Yeah,
cycle,
yeah.
just like ETH NFTs are right now. And
Oh,
and most of
Uncommon
them-
Goods is going to be a
most
cook in
of
4
them,
years,
most
sir.
Of them.
It's going to be the
but-
biggest cook of our life in 4 years.
Not all of them. Not all of them. I just...
Not meme land.
I think, look, the choice was, once there was another epic sat on the market, the choice was do it right now as quickly as possible and be the first to do anything like this, or be second, and then like the epic moment that everyone notices around the sat has passed and someone else has taken it. I think the only answer was to do it.
Yeah. For sure.
Good.
Personally.
I'm glad.
I guess I was also very
Yeah.
part of that decision. But
yeah, I was over my question about 5 minutes ago.
That was the league. I'm gonna ask you about
Are you
that.
able to talk about?
But yeah, but everyone, yeah,
Are you able to talk at all, Al, about your involvement?
absolutely.
Okay.
So Neuro and I and Waves, who's my co-founder, have known
Waves.
each other.
Everybody's not waving is really ridiculous. You know.
Hi,
Hey,
Waves.
you know.
Have known Neuro and the Blob team since the ETH days, before Ordinals. We found our way into the space together, and we've been thinking, like, what could we do to work together on something cool? Like, for the past year, literally. We started hatching a plan sort of in Amsterdam, and he approached me about 2 weeks before the EpicSat auction and was just like, what if we did this? So some of my whales came to me and gave me a proposal, and we don't quite have enough to make it happen just with the blob holders. So like, what if we made this a larger space kind of effort and we tried to make a global culture coin sort of for everyone? And yeah, I mean, that's just fucking epic, right? I mean, I've been, we put all of our peepos on Uncommon Sats. So like, we've always been in to the Rotomer rarity, and rare sats in general, Rotomer rarity has taken a beating mostly by the market. It's not a very popular narrative. I think at the same time though, everyone who's been deep in Ordinals has a certain reverence for the epic. Like, the rares in general, I've never spent 3-4 Bitcoin on one, but I have wanted one the entire time I've been in Ordinals. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And the epic was always just something like, whoa, what if we somehow got our hands on that?
So I have a question. So you called Epic, the Epic runes, a culture coin. What's the difference between a culture coin and a meme coin?
So, I mean, it's the meme coin. Meme coin is the category, right? Like the overall category. And then within that category, there's different ways of expressing the concept. I mean, what a meme coin means is a coin without utility that is just vibes, right? So is it a specific vibe, a specific meme, a specific character, a specific way of being funny? Or is it a broader sort of concept that allows many other memes to form through it? So because, the Epic Sat is the fusion of ordinals and runes, once you deploy a rune off of it, it would be great if it was just something that included the entire space and everyone felt like they could give their own spin to. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And I think Neuro, very prescient in knowing this, like when we were talking about it, this was all my questions, like, okay, is this just a blob coin? Like, am I throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars at a just blob coin? And no, like, it is blob, but it's everyone else. It's the entire ecosystem. The goal is to do something truly epic and kind of with this coin push the culture of being epic forward and doing epic shit.
So when you compare that to I would say another culture coin that heavily reminds me of is Mog from the other coins. Because like what I noticed from like my ETH influencer friends and everyone in the ETH space is they kind of ride Mog. Like they all have their separate projects, but Mog is like their coin. Like it's very easy to put on the goggles, be like, haha, you got Mog. Would you say like that's a fair comparison and kind of like what we want to do with the Epic Sat or with the Epic Rune and Ordinals and Bitcoin in general?
I think it's a fair comparison, but I would like qualify it a little bit. I think Mog's vibe, right? The culture of Mog is very different.
It's very
like,
Zoomer.
It's like tokenized winning is the vibe. It's like when you just win on something, someone they got mogged, right? Like however it is you go about doing that. I think the Epic is more laid back as a vibe. You wouldn't want it to kind of be almost a derivative vibe to Mog. It's its own cultural concept.
It's its own thing. Bitcoin is epic. All the projects
more
are epic. The story's
laid
epic.
back. It's more laid back. It's more what can everyone do to push this ecosystem forward and do dope shit.
Yeah, it's
I
like
would say
it's kind of like the old hurry up and like in Hollywood, hurry up and wait, or slow down but crush it. Chill but be expedient. Like.
yeah.
I think one of the reasons why I minted so much, honestly, as well, is it seems like Epic has one of the first really Chinese or sort of like Eastern communities involved with it as well for a rune, right?
Oh, yeah.
Memeland was maybe a part of that as well with RSIC, but
Yes
it
and
seems like Epic is one of the first that has any sort of like Chinese interest.
I
or
would
serious
say-
Chinese interest, I guess.
So that's why I'm turbo bullish more than anything else. I mean, so
It's easy to read too. I mean,
epic.
Well, that for like any, because the whole narrative of like, well, you can't do characters and Asian characters, so we're probably gonna fade runes as a whole nation.
Yeah.
But with epic, who doesn't know that word?
It's a clean taker. Okay, so I've learned a lot just talking. Basically, now we have this whole cabal group of Chinese whales and the Blob team and all these other Western projects on Ordinals who are all putting their brains together for how to make this really, really dope. And I've learned a lot about just the Chinese mindset towards this ecosystem. Apparently, they hate runes, like absolutely despise them. They joke that Casey is their English teacher. They don't understand a word of any of these long tickers.
That's
they,
hilarious.
They feel they love BRC20 and they feel like their BRC20 bags are threatened. So this is like, honestly, just based on the main backers being the Chinese community, who are just huge in Blob. Like Blob has Asia behind it in a way that no other Ordinal project does.
Yep.
I think this is, of all the runes, the one that has the best chance of getting a Chinese bid, like an Asian market bid on it. And I think, honestly, like, if you look at just the 24-hour market cycle that we have every single day, like, Asia's not bidding. That's a huge part of rune's lack of momentum right now. There's no one to buy when we're all sleeping.
So you think Epic is kind of be like our way of getting bitch slapped by Asian liquidity? Because there were like some interesting debates on Twitter where it's like, we don't need like
I mean, you just
Asian
look at
like
the
market bids, but I'm like, bro, like there was literally the whole thing about like elderly Chinese grandmas and grandpa in a big ass conference room learning how to trade BRC20s.
Yeah.
And people are like, we don't need it. Like, bro, it's like, it's absolutely we do. And that's another reason why I'm like turbo bullish on this coin. And I think it's really interesting. And I think it's very needed for runes where it's like, yo, this is going to be the first coin where we're going to get an actual taste of Asian liquidity. And like the gambling in the background, it's like, bro, I don't know bigger gamblers than just like that entire like whole market. And I think it's gonna be very interesting to see. And I think it's very needed for Casey to not seppuku.
Who's
So
fading
that would
it?
be nice.
Who's fading it in general? Not out of
Who's
us.
fading runes
Like,
in
who's-
general,
no,
or
who's
who's
fading
fading
Epic?
what in general?
No, we're talking about like we're talking about like dog versus Epic. Like are sides that are like all into dog, you think, not into Epic, or are they?
Well,
just,
okay, so there is like one important thing to note where it's like, regardless at the end of the day, while we do share this ecosystem, it's still massively PvP. And it's like, you could kind of tell in the timeline when someone has a massive bag in one project or in one rune, they're not exactly going to be uber supportive of another project. I think it's like, I understand why. I think it's dumb overall where it's like, yo, if we have one massive winner, the entire ecosystem like wins. If we get one rune that basically blows the fuck up and everyone's happy and everyone's tweeting about it, people are going to follow. People who couldn't afford the rune, people who missed out on that first initial rune pump is going to go, oh shit, what other runes in the ecosystem haven't pumped yet? What other runes in the ecosystem have communities that haven't ran? And I think that kind of kickstarts like this entire massive liquidity run we're running, because that's how BRC20 worked. Ordi went on this fat, man, I know you know the Ordi story, but like Ordi went on this fat fucking run, and people would just see Ordi absolutely blowing up. Every minter of Ordi, just the dreams of luxury and yachts happening because of a silly little JSON file, and the entire BRC20 ecosystem blew up. And I think, and like based on history, it's like I do believe, I think that we will see something similar when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think look at just tokenized pictures, right? I mean, you diversify, right? You don't just have, most people don't just have like, I'm all in whatever this thing is and nothing else.
Oh, I'm
like,
all in Bitcoin JPEGs.
Yeah,
I have no fiat.
I mean, I just say like I would say diversify, hedge your bets, and not just be loaded up on.
I'm good.
Okay.
good.
You're here?
I have all my money in a dog pussy coin right now.
Nice. I guess since we're talking about
So you're the fader. You're the fader. Why are you fading us, man? Why are you fading
I'm not fat, dude. I'm posing the right questions as Barbara Walters would do it. This is how you fucking run a show.
So
I don't know, man. You're
actually, like,
funny,
I do
guys.
want to ask you. So, like, kind of like as I would say, one of like the main spearheads of Wanko. So you just stated that you were involved in Epic, but you guys are also running up Wanko. What's kind of like your opinion on running two different projects? Like, how do you manage running two different kind of like projects at the time? I know it's decentralized, so I wouldn't say you're mainly running it, but you do have a big
helping to like meme them forward, move them forward for sure. It's a very interesting question. So this is about, I have a lot of different runes. We have bags of basically every single leading rune, because broad strategy, hedge your own biases, but we were looking for kind of a barbell strategy always. Like, what's an all curves, left, right, and middle curve meme that everyone can sort of get behind is one side of it. And then what's the most left curve, unhinged, insane, pure meme possible? I'm always kind of looking for those two. I think Arsic also kind of previously was feeling my like everyone could maybe get behind this coin type of vibe.
Yeah.
But I was always looking to make strong conviction bets on something incredibly unhinged and left curve, because I've seen that work many, many times across different meme coin ecosystems. And then something that's kind of for everyone. So the thing about the Epic is that there's so many incredible people involved. Like, it's not something that I need to be on top of at every single moment, but
Yeah,
like
you
we're
could-
all contributing.
You could leave the house with that one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could leave the house with that one.
Go to sleep and everything's not on fire.
You're
It's
like,
nice.
put me to bed, epic pillow. Get your
Sleeping is epic. That's all I'm
It
saying.
is, yes. Waking up is also too, because then you're dead.
Waking
but,
up's not that epic.
but go
sleeping
but,
is epic.
But back to you, Owl.
I think I wouldn't be looking for another coin or meme or rune to be powerfully involved in at this stage, because like you don't want the quality of your work to suffer. But yeah, I think between these two, that's kind of exactly the sort of bets I was looking at, and I'm just gonna see what happens. I think runes. It just feels like Ordinals Are Dead again. Your whole fucking show is named after that. Like it
Runes
really,
are dead.
It
Ordinals
really
are
feels like
dead.
they're letting us run it all back again.
They are letting us run it all back. It's like, bro, it's 3 weeks in. Like my favorite part is Wales basically kind of like making I was waiting. It was so funny. Like a day prior to Wales post, I was like, bro, I'm just waiting for like the ETH influencers to say runes are dead. The next morning I wake up, Wales goes, what happened to
what went
runes? I thought
wrong?
we were going to go to what went wrong? I thought we were going to hit a 20 billion market cap off rip. It's like, Wales, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You did that
Whale
so
dot
bad.
swoosh.
We can always thank the ETH influencers to give us the anthems that like Ordinals
Yeah, we
Are
got the
Dead.
receipts, baby.
Yeah, we got the that's an anthem. We got the receipts.
We got the receipts. We got the receipts.
thank you. The
Receipts
rec-
are epic.
No, what's always funny is on those tweets, like seeing the amount of bookmarks. I'm
Yeah.
just like bookmarking this for the next time like runes are at $1 billion plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I know. I like the epics. You see, like they had like
booked-
1,000, but you bookmarked it.
I quote retweeted Wale Swoosh yesterday when
Wale?
he had like 6 charts of all runes, like the top runes
Yeah.
going down. So I just turned it upside down. I said I fixed it. Like it's early.
Thank you
relax.
for saving your bags.
I
Troy.
fixed
I
it.
appreciate
Relax.
you so much. That's fantastic.
I
I
am
mean,
gonna
no
be-
offense to him. I'm just like, hey, give it a second.
Give it a second, eh?
You know, I just sent the email, like people with the technology, like send an email. Give it a second.
Yeah.
It's technology, man. Yeah.
All right, so maybe we move to something other
Well, I
than
wanted to
runes,
ask,
right?
like, you know, R6, who's behind it?
Oh, who's behind it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think anyone
Gotcha.
knows directly.
No one
No,
knows.
no, I just.
I mean,
No one knows.
yeah,
I've
no
heard
one
I've heard a lot of
knows, right?
names tossed around.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have.
I've heard
conviction
deflection.
on
The
any of
classic
them.
names are tossed
yeah.
around.
The
right?
classic name. Well, every time, like I see it right there. It's like, is Rock Toshi behind Rune? You know, I don't know actually, and I'm pretty close to Rock. Like, unclear, very unclear.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's also like one of the names that every time there's something mysterious in this space,
Was it
everyone's
Rock
like,
Toshi?
it's the Rock Toshi
It's a Rock Toshi
project.
boy.
I think
And, like,
Isabel said, it's not who you think it is. It's like an unknown.
Oh, in the
it's very
space where she
smart
was, like, in
dev.
Puerto Rico?
It's a dev. Excuse me, there's a Puerto Rican waiter coming. I'll have another. I mean, anyway, yeah. No, sorry, Isabel. You know I love you. I hope she does.
We all love you.
She just left the chat. Hey.
Yeah, literally. Good
Speaking
night.
of runes, so general conclusion is runes are dead as fuck. Don't invest in runes. Just kidding. We're all fucking bullish on runes. Stop being a clown, bro. Look at ordinal history. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of ordinals, though, what are the current vibes of our JPEG bags? It kind of seems like the
Dead.
entire market is dead once again.
Yeah.
Dead until it's not. No monkeys actually saw like a 0.2 start for like, I thought it was the first time I've seen it in a while. I was like, are we truly dead? Do I have to go AFK? I personally like when the market goes dead because it literally goes in these swings where it's dead and then you wake up the next day and your bag's just 10x. And
It
you're
feels
like,
Buy
I knew it
season.
wasn't dead.
It's buy season.
It's buy season.
It's literally telling you, hey, look at us now. It seems nebulous and kind of amorphous. Like, can we make money off this right now? No, it's collect time, hibernate. You know?
Yep.
Like,
But what are you
100%.
buying though? I guess that's probably a great question.
well, I just bought
If
some
you're
things on my computer with your help, man. So,
What'd you buy?
That was
Mango.
runes though. That was runes. We want to do JPEGs.
oh, ordinals?
yeah.
I am flipping some things and downsizing to upsize.
Got it. For what though?
Shit, fucking shit, man. I hate talking about that. Like,
But you don't have to. Like we can go to Owl. Like we can come back. to
What
it.
am I buying? You know, I'm fucking sniping the 840 fucking blocks from my own project. Dude.
Oh,
that's what I'm
Ordinals.
doing. Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice alpha.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know
like
if you
it.
know this, Al. I don't know if you know this, Al, but I have a project.
I
that
was not aware.
It was the only. It's the only project that was minted during the halving that has 61 of the assets on the block.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty
that's
sick.
sick.
That's fucking sick, actually. I like
so,
that.
So it's just like fucking cool. I mean, we don't rest on that's all we have. I mean, I'm fucking there. Like,
So you shoved 61 JPEGs into the block space of 840K?
Yeah, yeah,
Word.
yeah, yeah.
Respect.
It's really cool. Yeah. But
Are you gonna have a rarity on the where they were
so Magic Eden made a rarity trait for epic and
Oh,
rare
sweet.
for us because
that's cool.
Yes, because we have 40 on the 840.0001 block.
That's cool.
So shout out to Retordals. But I mean I'm just
So you're buying Retordinals.
I'm buying my own stuff
Got
and
it.
doing giveaways as well. But like I'm looking at some other things, downsizing here and there. But yeah, what do you guys?
Boo,
buying?
what about you?
I'm not buying any Ordinal JPEGs right
No?
now.
Just
Like
just
I
rooms?
think if you have no exposure to Ordinals in general, it's like, yo, like you always say, I wish the prices are down. Well, we're cut 50% again. Here's
Yeah,
your
literally.
entry. Are you gonna be like, no, they're actually dead, and then just go back up and you're gonna regret it. I think just it's buying season. Everything's down. Like
if I
it's
were to-
about to be summer, everyone's gonna have time.
Specifically, if I were to buy, I would get Node Monks and pups.
I would get
Yeah.
the same bag.
Al, what about you, man?
Oof. Good question. I mean, I'm a very like hyper focused, single minded sort of autist type trader. Like just I lock in on something and I
Go
just
Harvey.
go in. And I'm just all in on runes right now. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna go to 0 or it's gonna make me so much fucking money, it's ridiculous. And that's
Yeah.
my favorite kind of trade. So I've been rotating some of my Sol memes into conviction runes, mostly Wenko Manko. A little bit of RSIC. I'm waiting for the Epic to be like the next phase of distribution to buy
Yeah.
more of that.
Yeah.
On the airdrop, like,
the
are you
airdrop.
like assuming there's gonna be an airdrop dump, and that's like when we should be buying?
I mean, nudge. Yeah.
There
because
always
I'm
is.
assuming exactly.
I would assume
And-
too.
When does that?
I think Al though, like, I don't think that we've talked about this a lot, but we did talk about it just a little bit before this of rare sats. Like,
Yeah.
do you think that ever sort of comes back, or you know, does it
Yes.
need a new narrative, or you know, does it need more degen, like I don't know, like Doge sats or some shit?
Okay,
you know,
I actually have such a thought about this.
Yeah.
I can't take credit for it. It's a friend of mine named Loot Hero in another one of my chats just wrote a whole rant about pizza sats one time when we were first seeing the Runes Infra, and like how we just sort of, there's some very smart people in that chat, and they're like, AMMs are going to be very, very complicated to get arranged here. But there's already these bodies of sats with no founder, like pizza sats, right? There's a 1 trillion supply, I think.
Yep.
And they are one of the oldest Bitcoin memes and one of the oldest Bitcoin narratives. And if anyone ever wanted to try to push that, you could make an AMM for sats much more easily than you could make it for any like protocol built on top of Bitcoin. So I think there's a world where narratized bodies of sats actually become the third fungible standard in a way on Bitcoin. But so far, especially the Rotimer rarity, like we were big bettors on the Rotimer rarity with Peepos off the bat, right?
Flex the sub 1K. You got them 420, inscribed sub 1K. I think that's badass. You got to point that out.
That's dope. That's dope. But then, you know, and then, okay, without naming names, there's some other projects on Uncommons have just really polluted the gallery, in my opinion.
Oh,
of Uncommon sats.
Telepathically, I got the name.
Yes.
Anyway,
Oh, exactly. You know, being nice, being gentle. But I was just like, fuck, this just set us back so fucking long.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
hard. Oh my God.
So I think there's a.
What do you mean by that, though? I'm kind of.
it's more like what's being done. If you're gonna do something, like what's being done.
We
know,
miss
like-
you, Jen. So she's talking in
she's
chat
in the
right
chat.
now.
Oh, got you.
Miss Jen.
Hey Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? I guess Al, like, set it back, like the narrative of just like.
Well, okay, so everything in our space is like fundamentally valueless. Let's accept this as a reality. None of these JPEGs deserve to have any value. None of any of it deserves to have any value, but that a group of people decide it has value, right? And so, I guess in narratizing any particular thing, any particular narrative, rare sats, Rotimer sats suffered from people putting stuff on them that didn't click with the market, ultimately. So
Sort of like
it sets
forced.
back the uncommon and Rotimer rarity narrative significantly. Hopefully now what we do with this epic is like injecting some life into that rarity scale again. But I think just with what people did with uncommons, for the most part, there's definitely exceptions, right? People who did very cool stuff on them. But there's some that just kind of made them not cool to the market, like the way they're utilized as a canvas. Like
Yeah.
block nines, you know, there's so many more of them, and because they're so ZK and Nullish affiliated, because people have done such dope shit on block nines, I would argue the block nine narrative has been way stronger than the Rotimer Sats narrative, right? It's just about what people are using that gallery and that canvas for, and does that click with the market? And I think, some questionable decisions have been made on them.
Yeah, I have been.
Yeah.
There was
I
that whole
understand.
thing where I do believe that with the success, and I do believe the Epic, like I believe, like shut the fuck, stop trading and believe in something. But I do believe that the Epic rune has a really strong narrative, and I do believe that in terms of runes that will be successful, that will be one of them. And assuming it blows the fuck up, the whole narrative of what being inscribed on an epic sat that was mine on block 840K, the moment that runes drop, like, it just seems like such a good narrative. And while if that rune runs and a lot of people are happy on the runes, we get this whole run, I do believe like it really strengthens the whole Rottamore rarity market, where people are going to start aping uncommons, people are going to start looking at projects under uncommons. Like, it just brings so much highlight. And I actually do believe that a lot of people in the space actually don't really know about the Rottamore rarity. Like, I'm sure a lot of people on like different chains see an epic sat. They're like, what the fuck's an epic sat?
So I have a counter. Like, I'm all for that, but here's the problem. The thing is that most people will do copycat stuff, right? So like, if you have, like, say the movie when Pulp Fiction came out in 1994, immediately that year, people are putting together $1 million productions, and they're doing copycat with no fucking life in it, right? Just copycat.
And which of those do we remember nowadays?
Exactly. So the thing is, if you're going to do something there's a whole, the narrative of doing stuff on commons. Like, where are you going to be? Does it click with the market? Is it memeable? And are you going to be there building it with a crew of people just fucking memeing the shit out of it? Because obviously none of these things have value unless there's human bodies that give a fuck about it.
Agreed.
And then it's like lightning in a bottle is a whole nother thing that you just can't create.
I don't think it would be too hard to push a narrative. I mean, the biggest thing that like I believe with uncommon sats in general is like, there's currently 840,000. Like, there is a cap supply of uncommon sats. And if we're talking about like the pizza sat, like rare, like native sat shitcoin market, that is a shitcoin that has its own cap. And like, will a community form around that? I believe it wouldn't be difficult to. There was one forming early on, but just like so many new shiny objects came out where like it just kind of like was no longer the shiny object in the room. And I believe that you just, spit on it, polish it a bit, it becomes shiny again. It wouldn't be too difficult.
I have the God-given right to FUD my own bags.
Exactly.
I think the Rottamore rarity scale as a meta that becomes narrative has much more against it than block 9s and pizza sats.
Super bright,
like enormously. It's so complicated. Like, it's just okay. So it's these sats that are the first in every block. Once you apply ordinal theory to it, and every event on the Bitcoin blockchain like is a different tier of rarity. Like not even a normie, just a low information buyer who's just trying to dabble in our ecosystem. You say pizza sats or block 9s, the first ones in circulation, that's way cleaner and way simpler. That's something for
Casey,
people
if you're
to buy.
listening, just fix that part.
Doesn't make sense.
No,
it's too late. I love the Rottamore rarity, but I think it's just going to take, I think it's more likely to follow one of the other two as a narratized sat, because it takes a little bit more to grasp. Like, you have to really think about Bitcoin. You have to think about ordinal theory and how there is now a first sat of every block. You have to think of all these things that aren't necessarily intuitive.
There's also just like within that ecosystem, there's not a lot of degen plays, right? It's like almost too structured, right? It's like it's almost too much of a collectible.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I think like if people introduce some of these different special sats that are just really stupid but somehow turn out to be a meme sat, it could be fun.
Yeah,
okay, so
absolutely.
So let's get back to
and then spill over.
Let's go back to
So
ordinals.
moving on, JPEG bags are dead.
Yeah, so
but are they dead because they're getting sniped out of your hands when you're buying them on the secondary market? Let's have this sniping debate.
We're gonna be talking about RBF.
What a transition, man! That was sick.
So who's here been RBF'd, and who wants to explain that too?
Hi, I've been RBF'd. I have also RBF'd other people. This is my coming out story. But basically, so RBF is replaced by fee, and the way that when it comes to buying JPEGs on our silly little Magic Eden digital market is that the seller of the JPEG basically puts out a contract and says, anyone who signs this contract and agrees to pay me 1 Bitcoin gets my rare hoodie node monkey. Please buy my rare hoodie node monkey 1 Bitcoin. We'll get the node monkey. Someone could, on the other end, sign the contract, put that transaction in the mempool, but a Bitcoin block might take more than 5 minutes to go through. Someone else could kind of like walk into the room and take the contract from them, sign it themselves, pay more money, and now that original buyer does not get my rare node monkey. That's basically an explanation of sniping on the blockchain. And there's this whole debate that went on Twitter where basically everyone who are like going on Magic Eden and you're buying a bunch of JPEGs, none of them actually go in your wallet and you're like, what the fuck? I literally signed the transaction and went through. You didn't lose the Bitcoin. You didn't get the JPEG. And it's because someone else in the mempool basically stole the transaction from your purchase. And there's this really hot debate where it's like, should people be sniping? Should we be working to mitigate people sniping things? It's not a fun user experience, but it's also a part of Bitcoin.
So how do we feel about that? I mean, if you can snipe and you can do it and you got that thing, it seems like a fair game. But then on the other hand, you're like, man, the other day I got sniped because nobody was looking at this collection and I didn't know anybody's looking at my account. But I'm like, hey, I just got this. And someone sniped it. So don't do that. Don't do what I did. But what was great about that story was that the guy who sniped it, or the person that sniped it, or the bot that sniped it, couldn't sell it because nobody was looking at that collection. And so I was bidding. I was like submitting offers right below what I was trying to buy it for. And
did you eventually buy it for cheaper?
I didn't. I think he's stuck with it, which sucks.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Jen, we are not pushing for centralization, Jen. We are not pushing for centralization. I personally say snipe your hearts out. I do think like there was an extremely unfair advantage where people didn't know how to snipe, where people don't know about sniping. But now there's tools out there. You could snipe your shit back. Is it an annoying user experience? Yes. Is it just Bitcoin? Also, yes. What do you guys think?
I think protect the free market at all costs. So I think if people want to snipe, you should be able to snipe. I think that if Magic Eden wants to build a tool that sort of thwarts this idea of sniping, they should. And then if users ultimately want to use that, great. If users don't, then someone else will build a better marketplace.
You just said oof.
My opinion always was, I agree. Like the main ridiculous thing was, can't get this close. Gotcha. The main ridiculous thing was just how unfair it was. Some people had access to sniping tools for a period of several weeks. Everyone was getting fucked. We had a few situations where whales who were trying to buy Pepes just got wrecked, and it really upsets them. So it's either like you have to somehow get rid of it, which is really, really hard to do while maintaining just a free market and a fair market and decentralization, or you have to completely make it equitable for everyone. So like, I think Magic Eden needs to put a fucking sniping tool right there in their UI right now so that everyone can see, oh, there's another competing transaction at this fee rate. Do you want to try to outbid it? That's the fairest system.
I think that'd be dang. That would be sick.
I mean, that's how ETH works. Like you can see a pending transaction on ETH and you can just gas it up and take it from someone. Like that's how every other market works. It's not that weird. Right now, okay, so now there's a bunch of tools. More people know that they can snipe, so it is more fair. But like the fairest way is to put it right in the marketplace UI if you're gonna do it. And that aside, I mean, I think I also like some development of like snipe protected transactions, which are, I mean, it's really tricky because you need multiple signages on both sides. Yeah. So it's kind of what it, or signatures on both sides. So yeah, that's really tricky. I just tend to advocate, like, if you actually know which one you want, reach out to the person and bid so that it can't be sniped, because then it's locked to two addresses, the transaction. It's that anyone can buy is the way most PSBTs are formatted, and so they're snipeable.
That was actually good alpha. So if you bid on a inscription on Magic Eden, only you will be able to get that purchase if the seller accepts.
Yes.
That's nice. That's actually very, very nice.
That's what I tell everyone.
I mean, alphas bid on the ones you want.
I mean, it's another way of looking at, like, you could say, well, I might want to buy this, and it's kind of a hot property, but I also kind of really want to get it bid on, and I don't really want to waste my liquidity on that. I just want to get the buy from somebody who wants to bid on it, I mean, it could be a kind of like, not like Blur, but like, when you're bidding on things just a little bit over, just to like, get points. There could be a point
We
system
should be
too.
grateful that we don't have Blur on Bitcoin. It's
Yeah.
the biggest
I mean,
way to
there's
go.
already kind of points
it's
now.
coming.
It's already
It's
here,
coming.
with the diamonds.
Wait. It's coming with the what?
You say it's here. You say it's coming.
Well, yeah, it's basically already here, right? With the diamonds, and you there's 25% extra rewards
getting
on certain
hot in
collections
here.
on Magic Eden.
I think weirdly the diamonds don't really feel. I don't know what it is.
They don't, right? They don't feel like
They don't
coins.
feel like a coin. They don't feel. Even you can trade them on whales more. I don't know why. I just wonder, like, I don't know. I haven't fully formed an opinion about the diamonds yet.
So
but it doesn't feel like Blur points.
No, yeah.
That's the thing. It doesn't feel like
It
Blur
doesn't
points.
feel like that, but you're saying something is coming, whether
Yes.
it's from Magic Eden or not.
know
I mean, it's
something's
a matter of time. I mean, it's the classic OpenSea sort of thing. We have one monopolic marketplace right now, and they are actually very fast shippers, so I think they're going to stay ahead of the curve for a very long time because of that. But it is one monopolic marketplace with no competition. As soon as there's another main marketplace that has any incentive for people to use that instead of Magic Eden, the market becomes more efficient, liquidity is cut between the two, and all the JPEGs go down. Yeah. Like that is the fate of all of this. Efficient markets probably mean this is all worthless.
So that,
But-
like
I wanna get to some comments and then basically shout out some sniping tools so everyone watching the show could also get a fair thing, and then talk about the people story. So 2 comments. Someone said, hey, if you self-inscribe, doesn't this stop sniping? Yes, because you're inscribing your own inscription. If you are buying something on the open marketplace, that does not stop sniping.
Correct.
Shin said, free market argument is not really working though. Following US law, you're basically interrupting a closed contract in progress. Fuck US law. Some great snipers out there that I think is really cool is we have Goldmine Tools, which was made by the Bitcoin Bandit community.
Yep.
That one is open. I'm not too sure on the utility of the rune, but that is like the most public sniping tool that I know of. It's pretty good. I've used it a couple times. Sorry,
pretty
whoever
darn
I
good.
sniped. Do you guys have other tools in mind?
That's the one that I use. And I
Basically,
just,
Satflow and Goldminer. That's really it for right now.
Yeah,
And I think Magisat, right? I think Magisat.
Oh yeah,
also has-
Magisat has a sniper thing.
We hope, I guess, maybe Magic Eden eventually does that.
Okay, so that would be nice.
Yeah.
That's a great suggestion.
the
Speaking of my favorite kecker, Sir Owl, you have literally been
Lord
with
Keck.
your co-founder Z in the Ordinals ecosystem since day fucking one, and I'm going to hype you up a lot because no one actually knows how much work you guys fucking put in. These guys are goats. I met them for the first time when it was NFT New York, when Ordinals first came out. We were literally there convincing everyone, yo, Bitcoin JPEGs are better than Ethereum JPEGs. Here's why we're right. Here's why you're fucking wrong. It paid off if you listen. But they have literally, like, this team and Scribe Pepes in general is one of the most hardest fucking working teams in Ordinals overall. They stay pretty quiet. You've been a lot more, like, louder overall, and I have
just
been seeing.
made myself start tweeting.
You,
for
yeah,
fuck's
it,
sake.
it
Just
works
had
a
to
lot,
make
but like
myself start
overall,
tweeting.
like you guys have been putting the work in since day fucking one. What's the whole story? Like, what is the people's story? How'd you guys start?
Bro, we both came across just like a thread about Ordinals separately on Twitter, me and Waves, and we were walking through New York. Because, okay, we had just stopped working on ETH. We were drained. We had done a year just like helping other projects launch and go to market on ETH. We were drained, miserable, looking for something else to do, basically. So that's how we found this. We were looking for other stuff. We were on a walk in New York, and I think I said, had you seen anything about Ordinals? And he was like, oh, you saw that too. And then we just had a whole conversation like, what if we just spent a week of our lives all in, don't think about anything else, just see what happens? Like, right, worst case scenario, we spent a few racks figuring out some new technology, and we're ahead of everyone else on trading a new market, right? So there's upside no matter what, even on spending some money that you don't necessarily recoup. And in the meantime, like at the time you couldn't really buy anything, you could only make them, right? This is inscription 150 when we were having this conversation. And we were just like, well, we could also try to make some more, some of these Bitcoin NFTs, and like maybe one would take off and then all of our time would even be paid for. And we just did not realize how crazy things would get. So like honestly, our big we could have been like ready to go sub 1K if we had put less thought into it. We kind of got ready. We were online by inscription 800. I put on some one-of-one art of mine, and we saw.
Oh, so you have some sub 1Ks.
Yeah, I got like a one-of-one of mine in the sub
Spicy.
1K, and we were just like, we felt this like almost fear about what to inscribe. Like, what's worthy of Bitcoin? This is staying here forever. This is really staying here forever. And this, from a market making money perspective was a mistake. It's like things that work on ETH aren't going to work here was our first sense. 10K collections don't make sense. Whoops. 10K collections don't make sense. What's something authentic to Bitcoin's culture? A smaller collection, something that feels more like collectible artifacts, right?
Dog
We're
pussy.
like,
Oh, sorry.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We will get to that. But
Shit.
Laugh is fucking great. I love it. Sorry, man.
so we were just like, we called some artist friends of ours and we're like, yo, we need you to make 69 Pepes by tomorrow, basically. And we thought we had a lot more time before the sub 10K mania started. We thought we had weeks.
Was there a reason you picked Pepe's in particular?
Yeah, because, well, first of all, for those who don't know, the first one of the first main collectible NFT tokenized art ecosystems ever is Rare Pepe, which is on Bitcoin using a sidechain called Counterparty. There were other sort of collectible ecosystems and just collectible projects that utilize the technology before that, but an ongoing ecosystem that people still collect, that is still alive, that still has artists affiliated. They don't make Rare Pepe cards anymore, but the people are still there and the collector base is still existing and alive. Pepe and Bitcoin and NFTs are so deeply tied together in the history of all NFTs and all tokenized art. We, as soon as we thought, what if we made 69 Pepes? It was just like, yeah, obviously. We were like, oh my God, no one has made like a Pepe PFP project yet. It's like Ordinal Punks and Shrooms. And we really liked the Shrooms because it was original art. We didn't want to like copy paste, even CCOs. We were like, well, we could CCO, copy paste.
But it's
Moonbirds
lame.
or
It's
something,
lame.
right?
It's so
lame,
lame.
right? It's
So
fucking
glad.
lame. Fucking lame.
So glad you didn't do Moonbirds. Hey.
Yes, me too.
Fuck. Holy shit.
That's
Okay,
a different
so-
kind of fucking owl, by the way. Moonbirds, aren't they owls?
They are owls. They are
Somewhat,
owls.
yeah.
Funnily enough, I never owned one. Yeah, I don't know.
Made a bag.
That's
Anyway, go
okay.
ahead.
So that's just so Pepe is so deeply ingrained with Bitcoin culture originally already. And we also already know, like, Pepe is just one of those things. Like, usually, like, I'm a Zoomer. So, like, memes come and go. Like, I'll say one phrase, and then, like, 1 month later, my friend says, I'm like, bro, that meme died. Why are you still saying that? It's cringy. But Pepe has kind of been, like, this meme, like, since its origin, has just always been a part. Like, it's permanently become a part of the internet. And I think it's just very fascinating.
I mean, I really think Pepe is the father of mimetic culture in a very real way. I mean, something that really kind of opened my, okay, so look, we inscribed this stuff. We mint, there's a 69 supply. We mint 30 of them for 0.02. It's like $400 at the time. And then instantly they all start selling, like trading on secondary for 1 Bitcoin, like all of them, like a lot. And we were just like, oh my God, we're in so deep now. Oh my God, we're way out of our depth. We need to learn a lot more about Pepe. So we just like watched Feels Good Man, the documentary about just Pepe's history for like twice in a row. Highly recommend that if you haven't seen it.
Great documentary.
After you publish, we got to redo our research.
Well, no, just like it blew up.
That's the way the space
we
goes.
were in the arena trying things.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what I mean?
ape
We were just
first,
fucking
ape
around,
first, do
making
research
inscriptions.
later.
For sure,
yeah.
for sure.
Ape first, do research later. That's how we move. I'm happy with
Exactly.
that. See,
You
and that
didn't
just
have
makes it
time
more
to research.
authentic.
You had to- you had to launch.
You're speaking about
Exactly.
dude, that's the theme of Retordinals, man. Ape first, fucking don't even. read the
Yes,
white paper
bro.
later, yeah.
That's how you got to do it. You
Oh,
figure
I'm
out
feeling you.
why you did a lot of things
Oh, I'm
later.
just having a good time laughing at it. Yeah.
And yeah, so we really started doing a lot of research on Pepe culture and just we wanted to do right by it. We always recognize we're doing this because it fits Bitcoin and it has a deep historical tie to Bitcoin culture and mimetic culture in general. And so we wanted to do right by it. It's like, well, now we have a successful Pepe project in Ordinals. We think Ordinals could be absolutely huge. That's why we got into them. How do you do right by Pepe? How do you do right by what people have done with Pepe so far? It's like a really deep, elaborate culture, and highly recommend just everyone to explore it. It's like the source of so many memes.
Oh,
the
yeah.
meme
So,
daddy.
a couple things. So, first of all, if you're not in the, I don't really even hang out in this Discord, but if you're not in Pepe Universe, where you get all the
emojis.
you
That's
get
where
all
you
the
get all
emojis. There's
Yeah.
all kinds of fun stuff. I told Chad about it yesterday. He's been fucking just using it up. But also, yeah, like Skrilla. Shout out to him. That's who you were talking about earlier, right? Yeah. I mean, you were mentioning 2016 embedding
Rare
JPEGs
Pepes.
into from
Yeah.
Counterparty. He created the fake rare directory, which you can see all these cards. And then like 2 Telegram groups, probably even more, of just all these other Pepe derivative artists that are just like proliferate that culture. So yes, deep it goes. Yeah.
And we've put a lot of effort into linking up with that side of the world as well. Next thing we're doing is like a fine art series that's like one-of-one memes on Ordinals with a bunch of OG Pepe artists.
So we actually have that written down because
shit,
Vegan is a
word.
big fan of Jack Butcher. So we got like 2 questions we actually
We'll get
had
to that
planned for
later
you.
then. Word, no worries.
Go for it. So it's basically speeding up. Like you got these sub 5K inscriptions, 69, and then you kind of just like ran up this community over time. Eventually got to dropping the 420 peoples to expand the collection, the community.
And then Ordinals died for
And
3
then
months.
Ordinals fucking died, but yet the Pepe community still went strong.
Everyone asked us if we were ruggers. It was not a fun 3 months. It was
not fun.
Why is Peepo priced down, guys? We paid so much for these
Why
fucking
you no
Peepos.
buy my bag and make bag go up? Owl, please. I put all my money into it.
Al, how did you handle all that? Like, just you walk out of the house? Like,
I mean, it was just kind of like.
what did Wave say? Wave said something.
A lot of that, yeah. A lot of depression. I think it was, so we went to Amsterdam and went to this Pepe's in Paris event. We were still doing stuff, but it was kind of like, okay, we always believed Ordinals could be huge and that there could be much, much more to this. Like the total aggregate Ordinals market cap before the Ordinals Are Dead phase was still, I think, under $1 billion. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, okay, either this Ordinals Are Dead phase actually means everything is going to zero, or we come back bigger than ever. So we just have to like trudge on, keep showing our faces, keep doing stuff. Like no one's gonna expect us to like fix the market when everything is down only.
Yeah.
And we kind of
Is that not the utility? Are you supposed to fix my
We
bags?
could try our best, but like, you know, just we realized no one was going to blame us for that. And so we stuck around, we showed our face, we weren't going anywhere, and we kept thinking about what cool shit could we do if and when this comes back. And I didn't know if it was honestly going to come back. This was also like magical and miraculous from the beginning to me that what we did blew up so much. So I didn't really know. But then
Kind of feels like with runes now, right? Like that exact feeling is what
yeah,
we're feeling right now.
Oh my God, I've never, it's like it's made me 10 times more psychopathic about buying runes. I've just,
Buy.
if you know, I really think like right now it's super PvP. There's still pre-runes to hit the market. Magic Internet money hasn't yet. So like it's been a perpetual set of liquidity drains from the pre-runes projects, just making it more and more and more PvP. Binance is gonna list one of these fucking things. It's gonna go to $1 billion, and then everyone's gonna be like, well, what's going to $1 billion next? What's Binance gonna list next? We watched it happen with fucking BRC20, like to the T, exactly this. It's just now gonna happen faster.
Yeah,
Ordi was not, bro. When Ordi was listed by Binance, it was not. I don't think it was even 100 mil.
Yeah.
It was like $3 fucking, and then it had a sly people buying on inside information pump to $8, and then Binance announced its listing and it went to 60, like in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I think this is a better story, and Binance needs a better story. They've had a lot of flack in the last year or so. And,
I know.
I think this would be a fucking, and it's a new name. I mean, who thought runes could be a coin-related Magic Internet pump bag scenario?
It's definitely a cooler name than BRC20s.
Yo, Casey's so good with the names.
He is so good with the names.
Casey's so good with
bro.
the names.
He should have named. If you submit a ticker, he fixes it. So there was a lot of fucking bad names people were picking.
Just pay to
I mean, he
change your
kept saying
tickers.
it too.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, speed run.
Oh, I got you. So
I'm
no, go for it. No, I'm actually like I'm fascinated, like listening to the story. So you're going through all this. You went to Pepe's in Paris, and eventually we had like some sick parties in NYC where you guys partnered with Wasabi. And that was a banger event. I did pull up to that. And you guys mentioned that you're doing like this one-of-one unique art series. You got the 4 mega, right? It's still like the biggest file.
Nope, not anymore,
Not
bro.
Someone already front ran it.
Okay, wait.
Already
Sorry,
ran it?
never mind. Amongst our group of artists who are working this, we've just decided to accept that one doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no other.
Right.
There's not,
Don't know what-
It is
don't
still,
know-
in fact, the biggest one. But no, seriously, someone just inscribed like this ad for their protocol, their meta protocol, as the biggest. I hate. So the reason we did the big 4 mega is for the art. We love the idea of giant blocks taken up by art.
It is cool. I
There
like
are
it.
so many 4 megas that are fucking ads for other projects, and it's just shameful. Like okay, cool.
waste.
Like
Yeah.
it's like a billboard. We get it. Like you're paying for the visibility of it all. It's valuable. Like it's ad space in a very real way. Black space is ad space. Interesting concept.
How'd you guys get a collab with Jack Butcher?
Bro, I sent him the most ridiculous Hail Mary through a mutual friend. I was like, so we were talking to a few other giant artists, and then they bowed out, and we're like, oh God, we just one, we got to find one replacement. And so I was just like hitting up everyone who's in the art world and like, what could maybe work? Who do you know? And one of my friends was like, well, I mean, I've talked to Jack Butcher a few times. So I was like, holy fuck. Let's just try a Hail Mary, right? I typed up a paragraph with him. Like, hey, we're working on this Inscribed Fake series. It's an extension of fake rares on Ordinals, all one-of-ones. And we would just love you to be part of it. And he was like, yes, I'm in.
That's so fucking
And
Yeah, dude.
yeah, bro, he's so cool too. Like,
Yeah,
I had never really encountered, like, I'd collected his stuff, but I had never really talked to him on the phone, etc. He's so cool.
Yeah.
And he understands art so well.
He's like he's like the English version to me of like how like Casey talks very nicely. You know, like he just sounds like an English version of him to me, and he's brilliant as him. I would suggest, and they're both artists. You know,
Yeah.
Their own right. Yeah.
in their own left too, baby.
So, I mean, basically, more about this 4 mega, because I know we don't got much time. He came, we were like, okay, what if we just did the biggest inscription ever for you, Jack, right? That would be cool. It would be like a moment. And he had this idea of making it encrypted. So it's an encrypted blob of fucking symbols on Bitcoin.
Oh, that's why it's, okay, that makes sense.
What I love about it is it's 3,969,420 bytes. And within that encrypted blob of symbols, there's something absolutely crazy, which is like, it's one of the most highly conceptual dope pieces I think I've ever seen. And so eventually we're gonna inscribe like a cipher that decodes it and reveals what the piece actually is. And yeah,
That's badass.
Can't-
That's gonna be
can't
crazy.
say
That's
more than
really
that.
sick.
Oh,
So
please.
overall, like the whole journey, building on Bitcoin is hard. You guys somehow made through the depression period where people are yelling at you for not making their bags go up. What's coming next for Pipos, Pepes? And is there like any final words you want to say moving forward?
Coming next, our approach to everything always is we don't force it. We don't like try to make cool shit happen. When cool shit starts to make sense, we run it. And until then, we're hanging out with our friends. Don't fucking expect anything out of us. Send it all to zero. Sell the fucking bags. Right?
Everything to zero,
whatever.
motherfuckers!
We're vibing. We're very in the fucking loop of Ordinals. Like, in the eye of the storm in most cases.
I love
And
that
right
analogy.
now, what are we doing? We're like, runes are where my head is. So obviously we etched this rune. It's not a Pepe rune, the Wenko Manko. Like, it's not a Pepe rune. It's not
But you guys did
affiliated.
airdrop. I saw in the giveaways. I didn't
Well,
click.
that was personal. Like, I bought that shit on secondary. Me and Mr. Tax just dropped 60 grand on secondary and
You
sent
just
sent
airdropped
to
it
our
to like
holders.
all the
Yeah.
Pepe people holders.
And
who just
like,
wanted some.
we just
That's
dropped
so
the
sick.
Bitcoin on secondary and sent it to our holders because, like, obviously our attention is going to be pretty on runes and meme coins for a little bit, and we just didn't want to feel like make our community feel like we're not thinking of them always, no matter what we
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like, it's not JPEG season right now, and I think everyone with half a brain can understand that. So basically, we only get involved. We would never launch a Pepe rune, like a project
Yeah,
rune.
someone asked, does the
Everyone
collection have a native token? So there's your answer for
Yo,
that.
every single NFT project that has ever launched a shitcoin is on its way to zero. I have never, except, okay, Memeland is the new one. Like, maybe it won't, but like Bake was the one exception until it wasn't, and now, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
They
be
should have
careful.
never launched a token.
Yeah, be careful
And-
of that.
Yeah.
Stop
never.
asking Retordinals if we have a fuck. Just shut the fuck up.
I would
okay?
just never. I
You-
would
you-
never.
you-
But
yeah.
community-run meme coins that no one owns and everyone contributes to are a beautiful thing. I've fallen in love with the meme coin concept on Solana.
You fall in love with the dog. Oh,
Also, but that's separate topic. Like, I've fallen in love with just meme coin culture. It's the anti-VC coin. It's honest about what it is. It's funny. It's just a vibe. Yeah, it's probably going to zero. So is fucking everything else, though. So
Yeah.
are all these VC coins.
But you
So
know
are all
what's-
these DeFi coins, right? So are all these AI coins. Eventually, in the meantime, they can have a fun narrative. And why not laugh and enjoy yourself with your coin's narrative as opposed to like think about yield and optimized game theory and a million other things.
Yeah,
Like,
it's you know the good thing about it, it's like the NFT project without the NFT like roadmap utility stuff. It's like just
when
fucking
roadmap?
We
get-
just vibing. Yeah,
We
I
just
love that. I
and
love that.
vibe and also capture it. Like
Yes.
tweet it. You got some footage like that too. Like that's the engine there. Also, how did you get Owl the name? I don't know, so I want to know.
Show him the tat.
I got an owl tattoo.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like it.
And is that why? I mean, why did you get the owl tattoo?
I got the owl tattoo after like the first time I made a life-changing bag under my name, Owl, and crypto. I was like, okay, that's like maybe the one crypto-related sort of tattoo
And why?
I could be okay with.
And so why do you have the name Owl as a crypto name?
I've always, like, as a screen name, had some variation of Owl, Night Owl. One was on Reddit. It was like Owl Exterminator as a Futurama reference. Fucking, yeah, whatever. Just owl names
Yeah,
in general has been my vibe, and Night Owl was my first name in the space.
I fucking love it, dude.
That's cool.
He's got the sickest hair in Ordinals, guys.
He looks like a CIA
best
agent.
laugh,
He's
too.
probably
He
a
looks
Fed,
good. He
so
looks
I'm
good.
Got a
not
sick
sure.
laugh.
But
Anyways,
what do we do next? What do we buy into? How do I make a bag? Not financial advice, Mr. SEC agent watching us.
I'll go last.
okay.
Would you like to give any
I'm
alpha,
buying
any
Epic,
advice?
yeah.
Buy
Epic.
okay. Actually, this
Not
is-
financial advice,
Not
but
fi- not-
if you would like
okay,
to take our
here's
advice.
what Owl is
just what
doing.
we're
Not
about.
financial advice. Owl is fully redacted, but somehow it seems to keep working out. So
Redactinals.
over time, I think we could see one more time-based capitulation on runes. Like, basically, why aren't these things all at $1 billion? Oh no, I'm selling. Enough. I'm moving back to Sol. I'm this and that. One more like drawdown 30 to 50% on market caps over across the board on runes. If that happens, I'm buying fucking everything. I don't care. I'm buying everything. Literally everything. And if you have conviction bets, well, if for conviction bets, it's buy season. It's like DCA in season. If you get a big dip from here, all fucking in. Runes are, they're just beautifully asymmetric, and I'm just not gonna fade on-chain Bitcoin. It's how many times
The thesis is
there
simple.
a new protocol on another chain that we all ape into, a new NFT protocol, a new shitcoin vibe on other chains, and this is on fucking Bitcoin, the biggest one. Yeah. That's
Like all
my
I'm saying
vibe.
is every meta protocol that have like a Genesis token have basically hit 1000x for mincers, and we haven't seen a 1000x. So until that happens, I'm also gonna keep aping.
Yeah.
Mr. Biggard.
I'm getting more epic, honestly.
Okay, so
Getting
more
more
epic,
epic.
more
Wait
epic,
for the
more
I'm
wait
waiting
for
for the
Waco.
airdrop, but yeah, more epic.
Maybe
Okay.
wait for what comes next on Epic. Like that's my moment, in my opinion.
Because RuneCoin definitely, because of meme land as well, of course, because I don't have to even buy that because I get it. But and then Epic for sure, and I already got the dog bag, so I'll let Leo
The
do his
Waco
work.
Mako.
And I got Waco Mako, dude.
Okay, so you got the
Not
dog and you got
because
the
of
dog pussy
Jen,
bag.
not because of Jen, but because of Jen.
Okay. Well, runes are dead as fuck. Ordinals are dead as fuck. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Don't lose to the dog.
Don't lose to the fucking dog. You know what I mean?